in the fall, but the oaths will allow Justice Judge Jackson to undertake her duties, and she's been anxious to get to them without any further delay. Are you prepared to take the oath?
I am.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much. And now I'll turn things over to Justice Breyer.
The judicial oath. Will you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. I, Ketanji Brown Jackson,
I, Ketanji Brown Jackson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will administer justice
that I will administer justice
without respect to persons
without respect to persons
and do equal right
and do equal right
to the poor and to the rich,
to the poor and to the rich,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon me as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.
as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States,
Under the Constitution
under the Constitution
and laws of the United States.
and laws of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
And now, on behalf of all of the members of the court, I am pleased to welcome Justice Jackson to the court and to our common calling.
There you have it, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, now known as Justice Jackson. You were watching the swearing-in ceremony. She took two...
Didn't take long, huh? The vetting process that people go through to take certain offices, there's a lot to it. And this is a historic day from the sense of politics. Obviously, Justice Jackson, she will now forever be known as Justice Jackson. I find the name to be quite fitting, has now been officially sworn in as the first Black woman on the Supreme Court, aka also known as SCOTUS. She is now the 116th Supreme Court Justice, and again, the first Black woman to serve on this high court. Joe Biden nominated Justice Jackson back in February, fulfilling a campaign promise to not... Well, you get what I'm saying. Justice Jackson, Judge Jackson, but you hey, third eye. Hey, Centel. This was a campaign promise Biden had, claims that he is fulfilling and following through on to nominate the first Black woman to the Supreme Court. This is what he said. This is what Justice Jackson said in remarks at a White House event the day after the Senate vote that, quote, "It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments for a Black woman to be selected to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States, but we've made it. We've made it, all of us." She also said that, quote, unquote, "I have dedicated my career to public service because I love this country and our Constitution and the rights that make us free." Justice Jackson, Judge Jackson, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is 51 years old and has been confirmed since April when the Senate voted 53-47 on her nomination. It was expected that she would replace 83-year-old Justice Stephen Breyer, whom she clerked for after she graduated from Harvard Law School in 1996. His retirement effective today. She took 2 oaths. She took the constitutional oath, which was administered by Chief Justice John Roberts, and she also took the judicial oath, which was administered by Justice Stephen Breyer. Now, she faced a contentious Senate confirmation hearing. The hearings. All 50 Senate Democrats, including the 2 independents and 3 Republicans, Senator Mitt Romney of Utah, Susan Collins of Maine, and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, voted in favor of Jackson's confirmation. The vote was lauded as a historical moment by Democrats, though the confirmation process was filled with clashes between the parties over Jackson's past judicial decisions. And that's interesting because I remember when Donald Trump got elected, into the presidential office, and his October surprise consisted of a videotape that leaked in which he openly said that he grabs women by the ussies, right? Okay. So it's just, it's politics, whatnot. It's just never underestimate, right? But the fact that they lauded the woman's past judicial decisions, I wish that much energy would have been put in, when that tape came out. But I digress. I don't digest, but I digress, okay? Judge Jackson, Justice Jackson, SCOTUS, Supreme Court Justice Jackson, served 8 years as a federal trial court judge and last June was confirmed for a seat on the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia after also being nominated for that post by President Biden. Justice Jackson is the first Supreme Court justice since Thurgood Marshall to have represented indigent criminal defendants as a public defender. So an amazing day and a historic day, to say the least. But honestly, I'm not trying to be negative in any way or anything like that. It's just that the government is the government. I'm really happy for Miss Jackson. I wish her nothing but the best. Right now we're dealing with, the Supreme Court just overturned Roe v. Wade, right? And so every president, when an opportunity arises, every president, and when I say opportunity arises, if there is an opening for, someone to be nominated to the Supreme Court, presidents take that. And that's one of the main, that's a very high level thing or high level task or high level whatever project, whatever you want to call it, that presidents do for a lot of different reasons. And just like we've seen the entry of Donald Trump putting Republican right-leaning, conservative, right-leaning, so conservative to the point where they think that they can tell us women what to do with our bodies. Okay. Because Donald Trump was a Republican during his presidency. Now, don't get it twisted. Donald Trump used to be a Democrat. Okay. He flips for whatever he needs to do to accomplish his goal. He's a flip-flopper basically, but he was able to put 2 Republican nominees into Supreme Court. Although Brett Kavanaugh, like we're talking sexual assault allegations, all sorts of stuff. all sorts of crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. Yet they were, giving Miss Jackson a hard time about past decisions, judicial decisions that she has made. And during her nomination, she handled herself quite well. And I thought she did a very good job responding back on those questions that they had for her, and the way that they drilled her and drilled her and drilled her. But we now refer to her as Justice Jackson. And I think that is long overdue. Long overdue, but we all know that things will never be fair in this thing called life, government, United States government. It'll never be fair. Ever. I don't care what anybody says, okay? I really don't. But I do think it's a fantastic moment, and good for her. I'm happy for her. Now, before I get out of here, because we're sitting up here talking about the Supreme Court, okay, in SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, office, Supreme Court Justice. So now that they have overturned, or Roe v. Wade has been overturned, my understanding is there are 8 states that ban officially still have a pre-Roe abortion ban in law, which may be enforced. And that is the state of Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, Michigan, Mississippi, Oklahoma, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Hold that thought, you guys. Sorry, hold on. Okay, my apologies. I thought I've been waiting on a call from maintenance. Anyway, so states where abortion is now banned is being tracked, and I would encourage you all to keep track of the New York Times. They are keeping a live track feed of which states are now banning abortion. And so officially, as of this moment, the states abortion is now banned in these states as of today, okay, at 10:30 a.m. at this Eastern Standard Time. Let me just bring this up for you here. All right. So we've got some maps here, and basically, right now, abortion is now banned in the state of Texas, the state of Oklahoma, the state of Utah, the state of Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, Alabama, Kentucky, Ohio, and South Dakota. States that are saying that abortions will be banned imminently, meaning at any moment: North Dakota, Wyoming, Idaho, and Mississippi. States that are likely to ban abortion: Georgia, South Carolina, West Virginia, Indiana, and Iowa. States that are legal and likely to be, where abortion is legal currently and is likely to be protected. So these would be places that women would have to go to obtain an abortion if they so need one. And it's not up to us to the morality of why, okay? My main thing is women that are raped and are now going to be forced to keep their rapist's baby. And there's a lot of that happens. But states where it is legal and likely to be protected: the state of Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, New Mexico and Colorado, Illinois and Minnesota, Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, and Delaware, and Alaska as well. Right now, Montana, Arizona, Nebraska, Kansas, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and North Carolina, and Florida, it is unknown at this time what it's going to be. It is unknown. So these states obviously have trigger laws, and I'd like to show you this also from the New York Times, where it goes into detail about where abortion is prohibited or is likely to be banned or restricted, because when Roe v. Wade was overturned, it allowed the states to now enact their laws. Okay. Alabama, it is completely prohibited to get an abortion. Why? Abortion is banned with no exceptions, even for rape or incest. Arkansas, abortion is banned with no exceptions for rape or incest. Missouri, abortion is banned with no exceptions for rape or incest. Oklahoma, the state prohibited abortion at the point of fertilization in May with exceptions for rape and incest. The law relies on civilian enforcement. South Dakota, abortion is banned with no exceptions for rape or incest. Wisconsin, the state has a law from before Roe that bans nearly all abortions and makes performing them a felony. The Democratic governor and attorney general have filed a lawsuit in an attempt to block the ban. Arizona, the state has a law from before Roe that bans abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest, and it also criminalizes the providers. The law was blocked by a court in 1973, but the Arizona Attorney General has said he will ask the court to allow the law to go into effect. A ban at 15 weeks of pregnancy will take effect in September. Kentucky. A court temporarily blocked the state's total abortion ban, which had gone into effect on June the 24th, as well as a ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Louisiana. A court has temporarily blocked the state's abortion ban, which had gone into effect on June 24th. The judge scheduled a July 8th hearing to decide whether to further enjoin the enforcement of that ban. Utah. A court has temporarily blocked the state's abortion ban, which had gone into effect on June 24th. A ban on abortions after 18 weeks of pregnancy is, however, in effect. Idaho will soon be banning abortion. A trigger law banning nearly all abortions is set to take effect soon, likely this summer. Planned Parenthood has filed a lawsuit challenging this ban. Mississippi soon will be prohibited. A law banning nearly all abortions takes effect on July the 7th. Though abortion rights supporters have filed a lawsuit to block it, a 15-week ban is currently in effect. North Dakota. A trigger law banning nearly all abortions is set to take effect on July 28th. Tennessee. Abortion is banned after 6 weeks of pregnancy, after a judge allowed an older law to go into effect. A trigger law banning nearly all abortions with no exceptions for rape or incest takes effect soon, likely this summer. Texas. A ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy is currently in effect. A court temporarily blocked enforcement of a pre-Roe ban on most abortions. Texas has a separate trigger ban with no exceptions for rape or incest. That is to take effect soon, likely this summer. West Virginia. The ACLU has filed a lawsuit to block the state's pre-Roe ban, which would prohibit abortion with no exceptions for rape or incest, and it will criminalize the providers. Wyoming. Abortion is banned after 6 weeks of pregnancy, after a judge allowed an older law to go into effect. Planned Parenthood and the ACLU have filed a lawsuit in attempt to block this ban. Ohio. As of now, abortion is banned after 6 weeks of pregnancy. South Carolina, abortion is banned after 6 weeks of pregnancy. Florida, the state enacted an abortion ban after 15 weeks of pregnancy, which will go into effect on July the 1st. The state's high court recognized the right to an abortion in its constitution 3 decades ago, but the court has become more conservative, with 3 of the 7 judges appointed by the Republican governor. Georgia, the state has enacted a ban on abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. A court blocked it, but the state filed an appeal, and a court stayed the case pending the Supreme Court's decision on Dobbs. So right now, where is abortion legal? Lawmakers in these states have signaled an interest in restricting abortion. In some, the governor or a state constitutional amendment may protect abortion rights in the short term. In others, laws that prohibit abortion before that 1973 decision in Roe v. Wade could be enforced again. Okay. So, this is something that we can go into more, where we can actually do a live and discuss this in detail. But this is the map. That is the map. And so, what's really scary, in Hawaii also, there's seems to be, there's no plans. It is legal there in Hawaii. But do you know how many women that have been raped and became pregnant from their rapist? And to not have an exception for something of that nature. Or what about incest? Fathers that sleep with their daughters. Not only are they molesting their daughters through their life, but then they impregnate their daughters. Not only is that just fucked up and weird and not, they say people can have deformities and health issues from incestuous relationships and having baby. I mean, come on. Could you imagine raising your son and your brother at this? I mean, he'd be your son, but he's also your brother, or he'd be your daughter, but he's also your sister. The worst ones is the rapists that, get women pregnant, and the women don't even know who the men are. So how could they even provide like a medical history of that side of the family, or any history? Like when that kid grows up, mom, who's my granny? Who's my daddy? Who's my granny? Do I have any aunties? Like, there's a lot of reasons why a woman would not want to carry a rapist baby to term. And it's not for any of us to judge. None of us are God, and we are not the moral police. All we can do is focus living our life day to day and just try to do the right things that we can. Every day is a gift. Every freaking day is a gift. But listen, I digress. I will hold a live, and we will discuss, this abortion and where's it legal, where's it not legal sort of thing, because this is information that women need. And we may even do an open panel or something. Maybe I'll get Mona to come back through or something, because she's always, when it comes to just discussion points like that, she's just really good at that. And, I and this is our government, huh? Also, too, I will have a live stream later on where we will be touching on some additional paranormal cases, stories. There was an amazing live that was done last night with Linda Moulton Howe over there at Earth Files regarding, there's been talk about a treaty that was done with President Eisenhower and a species of a civilization of beings called the Ebens or the Greys. And I do want to talk about that. So I'll be online later on today. Thanks to everybody who came through, and congratulations to Justice Jackson. Until next time, everybody.